What's going on, Vikings fans? We're going to hop into some latest Minnesota Vikings news and rumors coming up. But if you are a big fan, if you're chanting Skull, like this video, and the more likes we get, the better this video will do, and we'll get to do more videos as well. So hit that thumbs up icon if you are a die-hard Vikings fan. You're watching Minnesota Vikings Now from Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham, getting you guys caught up on the latest Minnesota Vikings rumors. And let's talk about a potential free agent target. That would be one Odell Beckham Jr., who, of course, is just a couple of days away from playing in the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, new head coach Kevin O'Connell is the offensive coordinator in L.A. before he comes over to Minnesota, which will be official on Monday. At least I assume that's when the two parties will make it official. And Fansided throughout the idea of, hey, bring OBJ with them if you are Kevin O'Connell. He's played really well with the Rams since getting cut by Cleveland and moved over there. And I think that would be very, very interesting. I'd be in on OBJ in Minnesota. I think this could work. And I mean, the possibilities, if he's locked in and engaged with what the Vikings already have at receiver, is very, very interesting. Odell Beckham, his overall stats aren't great, but all 5 of his touchdowns have been with the Rams, and he's been good in the playoffs as well. The more he's played, the better he's looked, the more comfortable he has been. I like the idea of potentially bringing OBJ to Minnesota if the price is right. Now, you look at this depth chart. You've got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, 1A, 1B. It's all the same. At the end of the day, KJ Osborne emerged, especially in the second half of the season. So, he would take on a lesser role if you went to go get OBJ. But I would still potentially take the risk because OBJ with Thielen and Jefferson, that's a top, if not the top, wide receiver trio in the National Football League. I mean, that is incredible. You're talking about 3 kind of number 1 receivers. Maybe OBJ at this point isn't a true number 1, but Jefferson and Thielen are both A-level receivers in the NFL, and OBJ obviously is an A-level talent. That would be an explosive wide receiver core for Minnesota and for Kirk Cousins. Would you give Odell Beckham Jr., would you sign him to a contract? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Let us know what you guys think on this one down in the comments. Vikings fans, be sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Producer Jack is in charge of this channel, and he's trying to bring you guys more content on a daily basis eventually if we can. So next milestone, 2,500 subs, 124 away. Hit that sub button. Let's try to get there before Super Bowl 56. If you want more Vikings news, rumors, draft and free agency coverage, and more content, this is the place for you if you love the Minnesota Vikings. Let's get to our next free agent rumor here. How about Juju Smith-Schuster as a possibility? Fansided also threw out the idea of signing Juju Smith-Schuster. Could be a long-term replacement for Adam Thielen if you move on from him at some point. Like Thielen, spent a lot of the season banged up in Pittsburgh. Came back for that playoff game, actually, but was hurt for most of the year with a shoulder problem, I believe it was. Didn't do much this year in the games he did play early on. 15 catches, 129 yards, less than 9 yards a catch. A lot of that is Big Ben just can't stretch the field anymore, so the big plays weren't there. I don't think Juju's a bad option, to be honest with you. I think he's a middle-of-the-pack number 2 type. He'd be a great number 3 receiver at this point. Maybe he's your number 3 for a year. Maybe you move on from Thielen after next year. That could be an option as well. I like Juju Smith-Schuster. He's had a 1,400-yard season in this league. Now, that was 3 or 4 years ago, but we've seen him play at a high level in the NFL, and I think with a good offense and with a good quarterback, he can be a player that gives you, 600 to 900 yards, maybe even 1,000 yards, depending on how the offense plays out. Now, pick a receiver. Who would you rather have? Obviously, OBJ, he comes with some off-field questions and, some baggage, but he's certainly a better player. Would you rather go with maybe the safer option in Juju Smith-Schuster, type OBJ with Odell Beckham, type JJ for Juju Smith-Schuster? Smith-Schuster may cost more as well, or may not cost as much, I should say, as OBJ. Get your votes in. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Now, I mentioned the big game coming up on Sunday between the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. If you want to go bet on it, BetUS is the place to go. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code CHAT125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. I assume a lot of you Vikings fans are going for the Rams because, hey, that just makes the Kevin O'Connell hire look even better. Rams 4-point favorites. The over-under set at 48.5. This is kind of where the betting line and over-under has settled at this point. We'll see if there's some late movement there. I like the over, and I like the Rams. I think that's what I've decided. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is chat125 to get started with BetUS. Let's talk a little NFL draft. ESPN released a 2-round mock draft. One of their new draft insiders, Jordan Reed, did one. ESPN used the picks to tackle 2 high needs to the Vikings on defense. We'll talk about those players in a moment. Minnesota has 8 picks in this upcoming 2022 NFL draft. These are the picks for the Vikings. Round 1, 12 overall. Round 2, 46. Round 3, 77. You got a 5th-round pick from Baltimore. No 4th-round pick, but a trio of 3rd-round picks, and then a 7th-round pick as well. So Kwesi Adofo-Mensah in that front office are going to have some draft capital to work with coming up here in the NFL draft. The biggest needs for Minnesota, I think it's a lot on defense, cornerback, and edge, especially. Corner was a really bad problem last year. They tried to bring in Bashaud Breeland. That did not work. You can't ever have enough pass rushers. Potentially quarterback if you're not going to keep Kirk Cousins long-term, and if Kellen Mond is not the long-term answer, which, he was the 3rd-string quarterback as a rookie. Linebacker, safety, we'll see how O'Connell views Kellen Mond, but if he doesn't like him either, then it's like, well, if you're not going to extend Kirk, then getting a quarterback could be a possibility. So here's the 2-round mock. David Ojabo was the selection in round 1 for Jordan Reed for Minnesota. Upside as a pass rusher, really broke out this year for Michigan. Interesting background as well. Grew up in Nigeria and Scotland, and he's still kind of learning how to play football. He's just an athletic freak, but he's a flat-out playmaker and a menace at getting after the quarterback. I think he actually has more pure pass rush bend and ability than his teammate Aiden Hutchinson. Now, Hutchinson's stronger. He's a more pure football player at this point, but I think Ojabo could have a great career in the NFL. 11 sacks this year, 35 tackles. Needs to improve as a run defender. That's certainly an area Hutchinson has him beat, but as a pure athlete that can get after the quarterback, I think he can come in and give you some pass rush ability from day one. He's a really good and talented pass rusher. He really is, and I think that will translate to the NFL. It's the other parts of his game that need some fine-tuning, some technique work. Again, he's still learning how to play the position, but I think that would be a good selection for Minnesota. Kaiir Elam, the 2nd-round selection, had 5 pass breakups and a pick coming out of Florida. Listen, we talked about the secondary needing some help as well on the back end there. So we'll see if he could be a potential answer there in that defensive back group. He didn't have the best season this year for Florida, but he's a guy that could be a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So I think that's a guy on defense that could help as well for a group that needs more bodies on that side of the football. Name a player you want the Vikings to draft this year. Maybe it's Ojabo or Elam. Maybe it's a quarterback. Maybe it's someone completely different. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Quick little news item here. Ed Donatel is going to be the defensive coordinator. Now, nothing's going to be official until after Kevin O'Connell is officially the head coach, but this is going to be your next DC. He was the defensive coordinator in Denver under Vic Fangio. Does that mean he'll run a 3-4? We'll see. Experienced coach. He's done a lot of different jobs in the NFL, so I think that bodes well for Minnesota. All right, hit that subscribe button here at Minnesota Vikings Now. The link is below, youtube.com/Vikings Today. We'll have more videos coming up in the near future, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it.